Momentum. What do I mean by momentum? You build up energy and it keeps building and building and going faster and faster and faster. And the faster it goes, the more effort it takes and the longer it takes to slow it back down. To just slow it down and then reverse it. And that's what we do in life. We react to certain things the same way over and over and over again each time we do it, and we use passionate emotions like anger, frustration, sadness, despair, these passionate emotions. The thing is the universe only cares if you're passionate or not. When you're passionate, that it's, oh, she likes that, give her more of that. It doesn't matter if it's what frequency it is, high or low. It really doesn't matter. So that's the thing. So you keep building momentum and building and building and building, and your body has a reaction to that, and over time, it can really affect your health. So what's important is to try stopping the momentum, slowing it down at least, working on that first. And right now, there's, my understanding, not an astrologer, but at least more than a few planets are in retrograde right now, including Mercury. And this is a time for past patterns to show up in your life and give you an opportunity to respond differently this time. By being consciously aware that the pattern is even happening, and they sneak up on you because the same pattern shows up in so many different ways, usually with the same people, like family or whatnot. So the thing is with the momentum and the retrogrades and the past coming back up, traumas that you haven't fully healed from yet, things you haven't forgiven about, just old wounds. Like, it fucking hurt, the shit you went through. It did. But that's the point. Like, you got a lesson from it, and now you know how to stand up for yourself, and now you know how to put yourself first, and just so many different lessons. I could go on and on and on. But the thing is, with these retrogrades and the past experiences coming back up to repeat themselves, is when you're consciously aware and you've done a lot of that work already on your emotions and seeing things in a higher perspective, it changes the way we react to these stimuli. And for me, a couple years back, even, it was intense emotion, and I had to write songs to get me through it. I had to get, it was tough. I had to dig deep, really deep, and I had to really look at things from a higher perspective, and I got there and I found it, but my body still remembers when certain stimuli are happening, that I have a pattern of reacting to a certain situation in a certain way and with a certain amount of passion that is uncomfortable for my physical body. That comes back up, and even if I've got emotional control now and I'm overseeing my thought processes and I'm coaching myself along every step of the way, my body still isn't like used to that yet. It's got momentum already built up of, expecting it's going to happen, it's going to happen, because this is happening, that means this is going to happen. And then over time, as you no longer react that way, for one thing, the universe gets bored and it's not throwing those circumstances to you anymore because you're not as passionate anymore, right? Because you've got the higher perspective and the control of your emotions. And those negative, passionate things they happen less and less over time. And the more and more you do this with the emotional control and the thought overseeing and the higher perspective, you start to slow it down and then reverse the pattern. And it it takes time. And even once you've been a professional, you know, when I get there, I'm close, but get professional at it, then the body will stop reacting that way to certain things. And I feel like I should give an example. Leading up to this past full moon, I had a lot of fatigue and my jaw, I had a lot of jaw tension, and I haven't had that in quite some time. Certainly not to this degree, maybe some light tension, but nothing painful. And this relates to stress from childhood trauma stress. And so my body is used to reacting a certain way in certain situations, and that's where it is. That's where I tense up when I'm under stress and emotional stress, if you will, passionate emotional stress. So, like I said, I've been working through all the emotional stuff and healing a lot of those wounds, and I feel like I'm very connected to nature. I'm very connected to the collective energy, and I could feel my body could feel the energy rising, like all this trauma that's bubbling under the surface, that's ready to come out. And I think this is happening on individual levels and collective levels. And especially with these retrogrades, everyone's having the opportunity to look into this further. And for me, for one thing, that the sleeping and being fatigued 12 hours, like 2 nights in a row or 3 nights, whatever, and still feeling tired, is, I know that I am transmuting a lot of that energy, a lot of that trauma energy that's in the collective. That's what I'm doing when I'm sleeping, and that's what my body needs to do, is it needs to sleep so that I can transmute that energy. I mean, cats are known to do that. Why can't we, right? That's what they do. They take the energy and they go sleep, and why, I don't know why it's specifically said about cats, but it's, energy is energy. So, anyway, I believe that's what was going on, and being tapped into that collective energy was tapping into whatever little emotional wounds were still buried deep, deep down inside that I thought I had resolved already, came, to the surface. So it's like, a couple years ago, it's like, get the fire hose out. Whereas now it's like, with the conscious awareness, with the thought oversight, with, the emotional regulation, with the higher perspective, it's like just putting out little fires, like, oh, whoops, oh, here's a fire, oh, put that out, oh, here's a fire, put that out, and it's like, oh, okay, so my body is gonna know next time that, it, it, it doesn't have to get as tense, because I handle it differently, but there's momentum. So the body's still like, are you sure? Like, what's going to happen? So, it's natural for the body. It's a protection mechanism to, tense up, just like when you're going to get in a car accident, everybody tenses up. So anyhow, yeah, that's what happened to me this full moon. And, I've just noticed that the past few full moons, I kind of, things happen to me ahead of everybody else. Like, it's like I'm tapped into it already, and I'm, I don't know, transmuting that energy, help them with that, because I have done a lot of this work. And two, I do believe, I know I have conversations with other people in, either in the afterlife or in this life, in my sleep. And I've actually resolved some family issues that way. And partly, communication here directly in the physical, but also in the sleep state. Um, Pretty fascinating stuff there with my dreams, but that's another subject. Uh, so, yeah, anyways, watch what's going on, everybody. Whatever you just went through or whatever you're going through right now, is this a repeated pattern? Is this something you're still wounded over? And just think about how can you move past that? How can you do it different? How can you stand up for yourself next time? I mean, what lessons did you learn? Like, what do you wish you had done differently? And then just do it different next time, because you'll keep getting the chance. You'll just keep attracting these circumstances to you, especially when the energies are ripe for it, and it's even stronger when that happens. So you just have to be aware, and you just have to be on guard and ready to, deal with this stuff, because everybody's hurting and everybody's trauma is triggering everybody else's trauma, and I don't know. It's hard. Everybody wants to express themselves, but nobody wants to listen, and it's just a lot of resistance and people not wanting to open their hearts and being afraid to be hurt, instead of knowing that you're the only one that lets you get yourself get hurt. You learn from the past experiences. It's okay. You're safe to open your heart. You're safe to be kind. You're safe to be, loving to other people, and to be open to receiving love, to receiving abundance. If you don't open your heart to anything, then you cannot receive. So you have to open your heart to love. You can receive when you do that. It's just, I know it's scary to open your heart, but when you know how to stand up for yourself and set your boundaries, and even know what you even want in any situation, because if you're like me, you're not used to knowing what you want, because it was always what everybody else around you wanted that was ever concerned about. So yeah, I didn't even know how to think that way. Like, what do I want? And I still am learning. I'm still learning. I still have to really sit with something sometimes and go, okay, is this a hell yes? Is this a hell no? Is this what, no more ruminating about how it helps this person and that person and another person. Oh, okay, well, I'll do it, for the greater good. No. Now I look at what resonates with me. How do I feel? Does my body feel okay? Does my body want to do that? I'm older now, so I have to pay attention to things like that. So that's been a huge help in that way. But that's it. Just hold your boundaries, but just be kind. Be kind. You don't have to be angry to set a boundary. And you can change your mind. We get caught up in these patterns and we don't even realize we're doing them, and then all of a sudden we're in a situation, we're like, oh shit, I agreed to this. Well, you don't have to. Once you notice that this isn't what you think you signed up for, yeah, you can say no. You can say no for any reason at all. You can change your mind at any time, and if anyone has a problem with it, then probably best to find other people to hang out with. Because I don't know. I don't know. I prefer to be around people that care about me and want the best for me, and trust that what I think is the best for me, and not get offended and not try to manipulate me into doing what they want or any of that. So, but yeah, you can just love everybody still. Anyway, when you have boundaries, you don't have to get mad. Let your passionate emotions instead be about, how much you love people, or how much you love music, or how much, you love nature, or how much, what are your passions? Put your focus on your passions, and don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing or what everybody else thinks you should be doing. Just follow your own heart, because right now, that's the best way to be guided. It's really the only way to be guided. Nobody knows what you want or what you need but you. So, in any given moment, and that can always change in any given moment, and just go with it. It's a lot easier to go through life that way. I'm noticing. And have a lot of better experiences. And then the momentum's just going to keep building with the passionate emotions. Every time I'm, having a great time with my friends or family members, or being out in nature with my pets, or playing music, or dancing to live music, or singing, or I don't know. It's just I'm naming my passions, but these are things that I'm choosing to be more passionate about, so that the universe can keep bringing that to me. And gratitude is a really big thing too. Having gratitude for that, having gratitude for all the lessons, and for everybody who contributed to those lessons. And I just really wish nothing but the best for everybody. And anyone that's ever wronged me in any way, if you want to even call it that, just, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive me. Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I love you. I forgive you. We're all in this together. And I don't know, these old ways of being are not really fun for me anymore. So I'm turning it around, and we're going to have some fun. And I'm pretty pumped about the future, especially as, I'm really learning how to handle my physical issues, and being able to see why my body's reacting to certain stimuli. And it doesn't always matter what you eat either. I mean, okay, I don't know how to put this. My body only allows me to eat really healthy, but I cheat. Oh, God. Especially when I go out to the live music and they have French fries. It's just, I can't. But, my body lets me get away with a little bit of cheating, but not once I start doing it too much, and that's the hot flashes and the, and the fatigue too with that. But again, it's all tied into the collective. It's all tied into past issues, and just paying attention to what happened just before this bodily issue happened again. If we don't pay attention to that stuff, we'll never figure it out. And so what I'm saying about is food is, yeah, there's certain foods that can help those symptoms, and foods that can exacerbate the symptoms. And it's important to pay attention to how your body reacts to certain foods. I guess what I'm saying is that the food doesn't matter as much when you are able to realize how your thoughts and emotions are actually contributing to your physical issues. If you can get that under control and always focus on taking care of yourself and keeping your vibration high, then those things are going to happen less and less. And making sure you're getting exercise. I mean, exercise is so, so, so important in just so many ways. And music, nature. There's so many natural healing things. But, earlier today there were a big, thick chemtrail. I said I do not consent if it's not for the highest good of all. And basically what my guidance is that the earth is so healing. The earth has the ability to heal itself. It has the ability to heal all life on this planet, just as our own physical bodies have the ability to heal itself. That is more powerful in this natural environment for our physical bodies, which are the same as the earth, the same frequency, when it's in its natural state of being. We can heal each other. We can heal the earth, and she can heal us. And it doesn't matter the amount of poisons they're putting in the air or in the food or anything. What germs are coming at you. whatever your illness is, there's a spiritual and emotional reason that is directly related to that specific area of your body. And if anyone's interested, if you go to ourspiritualnutrition.com, index 5, I think it's called, this tab, you can look up any symptom. And yeah, sometimes you're going to read it and say, nope, that's not me. It's a lot harder to see for yourself. Most of the time I get it, but sometimes I really have to sit with it and think about it. And, you know, everybody's different. It may not, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But if you, even looking at it for other people, like your loved ones, those are a lot easier to see. So maybe start with that. But yeah, everything I've looked up, I've identified it. I mean, it resonates with me what they've found and what they're relaying. But yeah, your emotions, your spiritual state of being, directly correlates to your physical health. And if you have that under control and you are strong in that, nothing that anyone does to this environment can hurt you, because your vibratory rate is optimal. When you're, everything is energy, right? So everything in our body is vibrating, and they're vibrating at a different frequency. Your kidneys, your skin, your bones, whatnot, but they all have their own optimal vibratory rate, a vibrational rate that is natural. And when every single one of our physical aspects is in line with its natural, its optimal vibratory rate, that's when we are in optimal health. And that's all you have to do to maintain positive physical, emotional, and mental health, is by getting those cells back into the natural state. And yeah, food can help, supplements can help, but ultimately, it's really just you. It's really just you that can do it, by digging deep and getting to the root of your traumas. You know, our emotional wounds are stored in the body. Unprocessed emotional wounds are stored in the body. And sound therapy can help, because the sound frequencies penetrate all the way to the cellular level. So yes, it can help dig those up. It can help dig out those emotional wounds and bring them up to the surface. That's what's happening with sound therapy. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a therapeutic instrument, although these are tuned to specific frequencies that are intended for healing the physical body and digging up these emotional wounds. But really, you're still doing the work, because yes, this feels good. It gets the body to relax. The body can only heal itself when it is relaxed. Otherwise, it's just constantly trying to rebalance, just like the earth. The earth is constantly trying to rebalance herself. So it's harder for her to be able to heal herself and us. But the more we get ourselves healed, get individually, we're helping the earth. Because for one thing, we're taking care of ourselves, and so now she has more energy to take care of herself, so that she can help everybody else. Does this sound familiar, ladies? The past few years? But if each individual person can get their own self into alignment, get all of their cells, all of their physical aspects back into that natural vibratory rate, through controlling emotions and thoughts and dealing with these old wounds, really digging deep down in there, and digging out all those gems, because it's worth it. I mean, yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It's painful. It's hard. You may not be able to avoid these emotional lash outs at people that have hurt you. But hey, it's better than bottling it up, man. And now it's out there and now it can be dealt with. So, I don't know. You're still doing the work though. These are all just tools. It's all just tools, and it doesn't matter. Anything, nothing can hurt you if you're always keeping your body at its natural rate. If you're at the appropriate vibration for you, it doesn't matter what chemicals are sprayed on you. It doesn't matter what's in the food. It doesn't matter which foods you eat. And you probably won't even eat certain foods anymore when you're at that optimal rate. It takes, and then you get that momentum going of constantly that strength, staying in that rate. And I ain't saying it's easy. I'm not there, but I'm getting closer. I mean, I listen to my body, and for the most part, but sometimes, we have slip-ups, but I noticed I still had a little bit of some fires to put out, though, and I put those little fires out, and we're good again. We're all set. Everything's fine. Nobody's doing nothing to you. Nobody's out to get you. Everybody's just hurting and trying to figure this shit out too. So just try to have compassion for each other and do the work. Do your own work. Stay focused on you. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. And I don't know. Good luck. You guys, we got this. We got this. Because as we heal ourselves, we heal the planet. We heal the planet, and then the planet can help heal those that can't help heal themselves, or at least give them a boost, But we're all in this together, but we're all in this individually too. So it's a fine balance. So just find balance in all things, and just be loving and be kind. Have compassion for whatever anybody else may be going through, including yourself. Love you.